Anime is one of the things I admire watching. I love watching Dragon Ball Z, Yu Yu Hakusho, etc. And for anime, the movies, you haven't really gotten the anime movies right. Even though anime is a big influence on cinema, such as Matrix, Age of Tomorrow, and other films, but when it comes to readaptations of these anime TV shows and movies, it just doesn't work. We got the Dragon Ball Evolutions, we got the Old Boy, we got the Ghost in the Shell. But actually, I kind of like Ghost in the Shell in a way. I don't understand why the hate is there. I mean, I understand that it wasn't as deep as the original movie anime. The director definitely tried with them and has some good stylistic choices included in, and the soundtrack was unbelievable. One of the best in the year, I far believe. But for Death Note, something else doesn't ring the bell with this film. I don't know. I'm going to have to write this down. Write it down in my journal. Alright, well, I'm going to review this film tomorrow, so I might as well write some notes down just to prepare myself for my review tomorrow. Alright, so Death Note is a movie directed by Adam Wingard, and this is the American readaptation of the Death Note of the anime TV show. In this movie, focus on a character named Light Yagami. Well, the American version is Light Turner. Light Turner discovers this Death Note that came from the sky, and he meets a Shirigami god named Ryuk. And Ryuk tells him about the rules of the Death Note and that he can kill anyone he so desires just by putting his name in the Death Note and remembering his face. And also he has to be specific on how they die, and then 24 hours after he writes their name and how they die in the Death Note, they would die. And before watching this film, I mean, it took, I watched it a week later, a week after it came out. There was a lot of hate, a lot of scorn with this film. I just want to understand what the people wanted. And I understand why the hate is there. I mean, people love anime. People are so close to these anime TV shows. And when the studio is trying to do a readaptation of the anime they so desire, people just take ownership and they just want it to be perfect. And they want it to at least follow the anime roots. I get that point. And I really understand it. But I was watching this film. I mean, Adam Wingard did the best he could. He really did a good job with some stylistic choices. Some were good, some were bad. Nate Wolff plays Light Turner, I see. And Light Turner, his portrayal as Light Turner was just alright. It's just okay. I kind of wanted more with this character, but yet this character was kind of one-dimensional in a way. Mainly because Light Yagami in the anime was a complex character, and it made the audience question whether if he was good or just bad. But with this film, they made him one-dimensional, and he was just bad. Like the first 10 minutes, he was a good guy, he was a good kid getting A's in school, then all of a sudden he discovers a Death Note. And after he discovers a Death Note, 5 minutes later after that, he became a sociopath. And his motivation was very off. It's quite opposite from the anime itself. In the anime, he had morals and reasons why he's becoming Kira. But in this movie, he only became Kira because he wants to impress some girl. Now don't get me wrong, that is, I guess, the American traditional way, trying to impress some female. I mean, if I put myself in his shoes, I remember Brittany. Brittany didn't respond to my text message. If I told her I have a Death Note that kills people, she would definitely be on board, and I would definitely be motivated to become Kira because of her. So I guess I can relate to it in a way, but still, they make these characters a big giant cliche in the American traditional film industry. One of my favorite characters in this movie is L. He's played by the same guy who was in the Get Out, and I thought he was okay. But in the second half of the movie, his character is quite opposite of what the character L is in the anime. Anime is calm, cool, collected. He's He's one of the greatest detectives in the world, obviously, just like Batman. He doesn't wear shoes. He sits in the chairs in an awkward way. And one thing I do admire from him, he is calm and collected and very much reserved. But in this movie, he was calm, collected, just for like the first part of the movie. But then in the second act, he had a mental breakdown. Hold on, I'm putting down this movie hard. What are the positives with this movie? Let's think of the positives. Let's see. Rio being played by Willem Dafoe. One of the best, perfect casting choice. I really like that casting choice. He definitely delivered, and he was the best thing about this whole entire movie. I kind of wanted more Rio, though. I mean, Rio had some good screen time. I think after watching the movie and just how everything played out at the end, I just wish I had more Rio. Or just have the movie focus on Ryuk. You know, call it Death Note, The Rise of Ryuk. Well, I would actually like that more. Kind of wanted a little bit more intricacy with the plot. You know, have a little bit of twists and turns. And the cat and mouse aspect that was so good in the anime, they didn't really have that aspect in this film. Fuck, they actually had a montage that skips most of Light Yagami's life in the anime. I did not like the soundtrack or the music choices for this movie. I mean, it felt like all this was like a teen music that you would hear in the prom. What's that one song that keep buzzing in my head? Where did I go wrong? Wingard did the best he can. The performances was just average. Nate Wolff had a hilarious scream when he first met Ryuk. I was dying laughing. Definitely not shit, but it definitely ain't no masterpiece. It looks like these anime movies is just like the video game movies. It just can't get it right. I mean, I did like Ghost in the Shell. They technically got it right. But please do not touch Akira. I'm gonna have to give this film like Michael Keaton Batman. That just makes sense. I mean, it's just an average film. I would say below average. I guess that's my review for Death Note. Well, I finished. Oh my goodness. You know, just thinking about this whole entire thing. This kid, Light Turner, reminds me of Peter Parker from Spider-Man 3. Ooh. Why did this happen? Why did this movie happen? Wait a minute. I remember watching that one episode.
I'll show the world what happens when you cross me.
I wonder what it'd be like if I actually wrote my review in a Death Note. I wonder what would happen. Will I die or will I be forced to review it? Because I'm not going to release this review. Well, let's scrap this project. Death Note is a movie directed by Adam.